My check. Gotta make sure that the mic is working because yesterday, guess who filmed a full episode and had no audio because I'm a down fucking ass bitch. But welcome everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Inside What This Is Mine. Today, I'm gonna talk about exactly what I was talking about yesterday, but maybe a bit better because I have had the time to work on myself. I preach it, so therefore I should do it. Therefore I did it. Therefore I now it's time for you to listen to it. The thing is, with all the thing that happened yesterday, that if you haven't heard, go check the previous episode. Yesterday, me, unconsciously, I was acting in a way that I was trying to impress these guys. Even though I thought I wasn't, even though in that moment, I thought I wasn't. I thought I was, acting pretty naturally. I was not. Let me tell you the story. Let me first finish telling you the story so you can understand why we're here today. So I was trying to impress these guys, okay? And I kept playing the one that I liked the most, I have to admit, even though I hate it. The one that I liked the most, he gave me his Instagram and I messaged him. I didn't follow him, just message him because I'm not here to gain followers or anything. I wanted to get to know him. So I messaged him. He hasn't seen the message and it's been over a day. So to me, that's already an answer, okay? Because you were in my house yesterday. You were filming in my house yesterday and you saw me around, you saw me a couple of times. They even asked if they could film in a different part of the house, and I said yes. So you know that at some point, or you can imagine that at some point I was going to, message you or something because you gave me your Instagram. You gave me your Instagram. I kept replaying in my head last night and today different scenarios. I kept playing in my head like different ways because obviously I came out of the house and I asked them for what they were doing. And I kept thinking, what if I didn't come out of the house this way? What if I came out of the house this way? Because first I opened the door for them, even though because I didn't know who was coming to the house. And I was half naked. I'm not naked. I was in my gym clothes with a sport bra because obviously I was in my own home and I didn't know someone was coming to the house. So I was like, what are you guys doing in here? I didn't know they were coming to film because they talked to my boss yesterday. So anyways, I didn't know. So I kept thinking, what if instead of me walking, because I went to the shop to buy some stuff and I dressed up and I looked nice. I had a dress so they could see me, they could see me because I know I didn't dress up and I put makeup on and got all ready just because I was going to the shop. I did it in a way because I knew I was going to face them. I knew I was going to see them and I wanted them to see me dressed up like this. And I kept thinking, I kept making this as an error in my head. What if instead of me walking out this way and dressing this way, what if it was the other way around? Because initially, right, my plan was to go for a run and then come back and then do other things. But I ended up ditching the idea because the guys were in the house. You see how messed up this is? Like I'm telling you, and I'm already realizing even more how messed up it was, how much I was really unconsciously trying to impress these guys. Because I'm not used to man attention or like a man just being around the house. Just, I don't know. I stopped my dating life a while ago. I gave up on it. So the fact that they were nice looking guys my age in this house, it was like, oh, this is an opportunity. So unconsciously, I try to get their attention. So the thing is, I kept thinking, what if I went out for a run, not knowing they were coming to the house, and then I came back, see that they're here? The situation would have been different. What would I have said to them? What would have they thought of me? I kept playing all these scenarios in my head, or even like, what if I didn't say this? Because I said to them, well, keep doing whatever you do. And even though I already knew what they were doing, right? Because I said, keep doing whatever you're doing. And this is such a small little thing, but it kept playing in my head because I felt insecure, okay? I felt insecure, I have to admit it. And it bothers me because here's the thing that I can clear today, although I should wait until I get there, but I'm going to say it straight away. Like I said, I didn't have much information about these guys. They just came to the house to film in the house, okay? That already is very suspicious because they're trying. What I conclude for this is that not only they brought the cars, the fancy cars, even though there's already fancy cars in this house because my boss owns them, okay? They trying to, I'm sure, because I can, 2 + 2 is 4. So even though I don't have all the information, they came to the house. They came to this fancy house, this nice luxurious villa to film, right? With fancy cars that God knows where they got it. I don't even know if those cars are theirs. Now I doubt it because they asked to use the house to film content. So to me, that says that they're trying to sell and project and reflect this lifestyle, this luxurious lifestyle and this amazing life, even though they don't have it themselves. They had to ask somebody else. They had to ask somebody else to borrow their house, to use it to film content in it. Because that's the thing. We don't know these guys. These guys came the other day, like the day before yesterday, asking if they could come yesterday to use the house to just film some content for their mentorship page or whatever. I don't know what they say to my boss because I wasn't in the conversation, but I'm guessing it was something like that. So they're trying to project lifestyle they don't have themselves. That's already them trying to sell something they're not and trying to project an image of them that they're not. So I kept thinking today, I kept telling myself, what was I trying to impress these guys? That they are the ones also trying to project, trying to be someone they're not. They had to borrow a house. They had to ask somebody else to use their house to show whoever they're making this content for, to show that people that, maybe you could have these lifestyles if you sign up for their mentorship. I don't even know what they do, but I'm just guessing in here. So I was trying to impress these guys that I don't know nothing about them. But the fact that they're already doing all these things is telling me that they are just not, what's the word I'm looking for in here? Trustworthy? Reliable? They're not real. I'm going to use that one. They're not real. They are already trying to project an image they're not. The thing is, because the main guy that I talked to, that was pretty cute, which is just something I hate. That's something that bothers me. He was damn cute because he hasn't got back to me. I kept replaying the image. I kept replaying scenarios in my head. And to me, I'm aware that that's me trying to protect myself. Don't know from what. Or I'm trying to have some sort of control and gain my power, which is something I concluded today. Because I went out for a run. I went out to spend some time with myself and do some inner work and do some introspection because I needed to do it. And I'm very glad that I did because this is why I'm here today, sitting and telling you this. The importance of self-talk and truly doing the inner work. That's all that matters. Let me see how I connect these ideas. Because I know what I want to say. I just, I'm starting the engine in my brain and it's like, it goes like... This is how I noticed there was an issue and there was something I needed to address. I kept replaying and I kept making scenarios in my head over and over again since last night and this morning too, and I couldn't focus. Anytime I would catch myself going back to yesterday and replaying what happened and replaying the situation and making up new situations. Anytime that I could, my brain would go back to it anytime. That's what I noticed this morning. And I said, there's something I need to address because what's going on in here? So I went out for a run. I started asking myself questions because that's how it all starts. When you don't know how you're feeling, you just start asking yourself questions and then try to find answers for them because the answers are inside of you. You just need to look for them. Okay, I started asking myself, why are we replaying these images in our head? Like, what are we trying to do over here? What does it bother us so much? What's bothering us so much? I understood that. It was bothering me, the fact that he didn't get back to me. Why? I end up concluding that I was trying to impress these guys. And why was I trying to impress these guys? Because I felt small. The little voice in the back of my head, it had a mask. It manifested in a way that I couldn't see it properly because it was dressed up as something else, of a different idea, but it was that voice. And here's the thing. One of my biggest insecurities and the biggest intrusive thought that I have, it's the idea of I'm a failure. I don't know how to do things and I'm behind in life. Because I kept digging, I unmasked it and I realized it was that bitch. I was like, it's you. That's the thing. That's the thing that's bothering me and it's making me feel this way. It's you. It's that voice in the back of my head that's telling me, you're a failure. And that's why I was trying to impress these guys. Because deep inside, I felt like I was a failure because this life is not mine. This house is not mine. None of this is mine. But I was trying to show myself to these guys that I was some sort of I don't know. I wanted to feel, because I made a little comment in the way, I dressed up and I got out of the house and I came back. I know I was trying to show that I was this important person because I felt small. I felt not worthy. I lost my worth, and I felt small because of that. Because there was these boys in the back of my head, these evilish boys. Just imagine, right? The evil and the angel. These two personalities live in my head, and the evil one came out and said to me, "You're a failure." Okay. So unless you prove that you're not a failure, these guys are not, you're not going to get this guy's attention or anyone's attention. Nobody's going to love you. No one's going to see your worth. Wait a second, because this is something that I know too. Why am I putting my worth into external things? Because this is something I also have talked about with my therapist, something that I have concluded to in the past. My worth does not depend on external things. Like how to say it, I dictate my own worth. Okay, I don't put my worth into external things. Therefore, every time I get this external validation, that's how I prove my worth. No. That's how it works. My worth comes from within, and it comes from myself. So I noticed, I consciously realized, that's it. I was trying to put my worth into external things because I don't have this lifestyle and I don't make six figures and I don't have fancy cars because that's what these guys, that's the image that they had. I felt like I was competing. I needed to be at their level. I was competing with them. So I concluded that the reason why I was making up all these scenarios in my head is because I was trying to gain my power. Because of that, because I was putting my worth into external things, I lost control of myself. I lost my own control. I lost myself into that. I put my worth into something external, and it doesn't work that way. So I felt powerless, and I was trying to regain my power. And that's what I concluded. I said, I was like, damn, that's something. We're getting somewhere. I'm making up these scenarios because in my head, if things go the way that I want, in my head, I have power, I have control. And I felt like I didn't have any control yesterday or last night because I'm trying to control these things that are uncontrollable. I can control the guy to get back to me. He has to message me whenever he wants, or if he wants. I can't control these guys liking me or not liking me. I can't control these guys talking to me or not talking to me. That's out of my control. And I was trying so hard in my head to control all these things, that's why I was making up these scenarios. So that's one thing that I concluded. Then another reason why I felt like I needed to prove my worth is because I'm not content at this current moment of my life, having some issues at work. So I can't, I don't even feel fulfilled. I don't feel comfortable. I can say, look, even though this life is not mine, I'm happy with my work, with my job. No, I'm having some issues with it. So it all added up to it. It all felt like I am this piece of shit and I need to somewhat show to the world that I am worthy. I forgot that my worth comes from me. I tell myself I'm worthy not because of external things, but this is another point. My worth comes from who I am as a person. It's all in here. I forgot that for a second and it bothers me. But I'm happy that I concluded that today because I feel a lot better now. But for, let's say, a period of 24 hours, I forgot that. I forgot that my worth comes from here and for the person that I am and for the values that I have. And I gained my power back. Now, what else did I conclude on this run? This is the main topic that I wanted to address today. It's not only the importance of self-talk, but also doing the inner work. I came back to the house and I started feeling somewhat better, but I could see and I could still feel that I wasn't still there. I wasn't still there. So I kept asking myself, okay, Tizzy, what's the issue? And so I started playing this little game that I like to do. I'm going to say it so hopefully it might help you too. My therapist once told me there's three versions of ourselves living inside of ourselves. You have your inner child, you have the current version of yourself, and then you have a mother self. I don't know if I explain myself well, but it's like that. I noticed that me feeling insecure, it's my inner child. This 5-year-old maybe that at some point of her life, she was told all these things and she started believing them, all these negative things, and she started believing in them. So for example, like I said previously, I felt like I was a failure and I felt like I was behind because I was trying to compare myself to everybody else. My inner child felt small. So mature current Tizzy said, let's sit down together. Let's talk about it. Why do you feel small? Well, because I feel like a failure. So mature me told little Tizzy, why do you feel like a failure? What proof do you have that you're a failure? And I said, well, I don't have this and I have that. So mature Tizzy again, I said, well, why are you comparing yourself to them? That's not your path. You can run someone else's race. You run your own race, okay? And I'm going to compare this to, for example, fitness. I don't run fast. I don't think I run. If I compare myself to somebody else, I don't run fast. I don't run at like 4 point something. I run at like 6 something. And that's my comfortable pace, okay? But that's I like that. I feel fast when I run at like 5 point something. And that's enough. I am my own competition. That's all I need to remember. And that's all that matters. I have my own race. And this is my own path. So I use the same simple. Why are you comparing to others when that's not your path? I want to be a content creator. I have different goals. I don't even know what these guys' goals are. But I can guess in here that they want to have these kind of lifestyle. They want to have the millions. They want to have the Lamborghinis. They want to have the yachts. They want to have the villa and all this kind of things. But that's not what I want. So why are you feeling like you're a failure because you don't have all these things when that's not exactly what you want? So then little Tizzy said, you're right. And I felt good. Then I'm gonna bring this back to something else I want to conclude with all this is that at the end of the day, like it or not, You are your own hero. You are your own savior. Nobody else is going to come and save you and help you. Because at the end of the day, you have to do the work. You have to want to do the work, and you have to want to find answers and get better. In my case, I know that when I'm not feeling okay, I know that I have the answers, and I need to spend the time with myself to find all these answers. I know other people they prefer to talk to their friends or to their family because they have the support from them, which is great. If you have that, do it. But at the end of the day, no matter what they tell you, whether it's your mom, whether it's your friend, your best friend, your brothers, whatever it is, whoever it is, the answer is within you. If you want to change your mood, if you want to grow, if you want to do whatever you want to do, it's in you. The answer is in you. At least in my case, I don't have anyone to rely on. Okay, I cannot call my parents and tell them I'm feeling this way and that way. I guess I can message my best friend, but she might be busy. We all have a life. She might be working. She might be doing something else. She can't get back to me right away. And even if she does, the conversation won't be the same as if I have the conversation with myself. Because again, you have the answers within you. The answers are within you. The answers are inside of yourself. So like it or not, you'd have to have the conversation with yourself at some point, okay? And face it. You have to feel that hard, tough thing to do. So I did it today. And because, like I said, at the end of the day, we are our own heroes. I am my own mother at the end of the day. I have to take care of myself. So I have to take care of my inner child. So Mother Tizzy and present current Tizzy, we both sat down and said, hey, you're not alone. I'm going to hear you. Tell me how you're feeling. Tell me what's wrong. And let's see how we can find an answer for this. It's not if we can find an answer, it's how we can find an answer for this. Because there's an issue here, and there is an answer. There is a way to get out. There is a way to get rid of this feeling. But the answer, we have to find it because it's here, it's somewhere in here, and it's somewhere in here too. So I sat down. I sat down, and I talked like a mother. I talked like a mother to my own self, and I said, "Okay, I heard you. I heard what you said. I understand you're feeling this way." But you have no proof, nor arguments to say that you are a failure. Because let me tell you one thing, Tizzy, you are working towards your dreams. You're focused. You're putting the effort. You're putting the time. So what makes you think you're a failure? Because you're comparing yourself to them. And you feel like a failure because you are trying to think that the goal, it's that what those guys wanted. Those goals they had is what you should have. And it's not like that. You're working towards your own goals. Therefore, you're in the right path. Therefore, you're not a failure. And then I said, okay, now back to the conversation. Inner self, child me, said, I feel behind. I feel behind in life. Now, mother me said, why do you feel behind? And I concluded that I felt behind because again, I was comparing myself to others. I kept thinking, well, I'm not here. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. I have this. I'm this age. And I'm not doing all these things. I'm not at this point of my life. But why? Because I'm comparing myself to others. Because other people my age are already doing these things and this thing and this other thing. And they're having these lifestyles and this and that. Because, let me say this again. Because other people my age are having all these things. Therefore, I think that's the truth. That's like the guide, like this guide that I should follow. Ooh, by the age of 25, by the age of 26, I should be having and I should be living this way. And the reality is that's not true, okay? Like I've said previously a million times, and the same way that I say it, I need to apply it to myself. We create our own reality and we create our own truth. So why am I comparing myself to somebody else's reality when that's not where I want to go? Okay? This is my path. So why are you feeling behind, Tizzy? And then because I said all these things to myself, to my inner child, I said, okay, you're right. I'm not behind. I'm running my own race. So how can I say I'm behind when I'm running my own race? I'm not behind. I am exactly where I have to be. I am exactly where I have to be. I might feel a little behind, and that's okay. I might feel a little behind. But just because I might feel a little behind does not mean I am actually behind. Because I'm running my own race against my own self. So really, I don't have anything to compare it with. So if I don't have anything to compare it with, therefore I'm not behind. Because the only reason you say you think you're behind is because you're comparing yourself to something else. And if I'm comparing myself to myself, right, and I'm racing against my own self, then I'm not behind. Because there's nobody else I'm competing with but myself. So therefore, I'm not behind. And because I said all these things to myself, I was like, that's right. I'm not behind. I'm exactly where I have to be, And that made me feel a bit better, I have to admit. That thought right there, that conclusion, made me feel a bit better. Now here, mature Tizzy, current Tizzy right here said, hey, you think you should help You just helped your little one. You just helped your inner child. You should be proud of that, Tizzy. You're doing the hard work. And then, like, this is my mother self now telling me, hey, Tizzy, you just helped that person, which is my inner self, my inner child. Mother Tizzy said, hey, you just helped somebody. You just helped that little child find answers and feel a bit better. So you should do, current Tizzy, actual Tizzy right here in the present moment, you should be feeling proud because you're doing the hard work and you're working on this, which is something a lot of people doesn't do. There's working on this, I know it's very hard, trying to understand our minds is not easy. Facing our triggers and facing the things that we don't like, it's not easy either. I didn't want to do it either. And sometimes I don't want to do it either. Sometimes I avoid it in a very passive way. I started listening to music. I distract myself with other things because I don't want to do the inner work. I think that it's something small, it'll go away. But it's not. You have to do it. So in that moment, I felt very proud of myself because I addressed the situation and I addressed the issue myself. And I found an answer myself. I'd helped somebody, which is myself. I helped somebody, even though it sounds funny. Even though that somebody's me, my inner child, I helped somebody find an answer, find a solution because of this. So then that made me think again. You see, Tizzy, you have values. You have values and you have this mental power, this mental strength that not other people have. So why are you feeling small? Why are you feeling like a failure? When you have this powerful machine right here that you know how to use. And sometimes I struggle to understand how to use it and how to make it work. But you are taking the time to use this machine that's right here in your favor. That this thing is going to get you everywhere, Tizzy. Without this, you have nothing. Without this, you have nothing. I'm going to say it again. You have nothing. Without your brain and without look, the reason why separates us from animals is because we have a brain, because we can think and we can rationalize things. If you're not going to use your brain and you're going to act like an animal, then you're a fucking animal. You're not a human. You're not a person. You're not using what you have that makes you special, which is this, in your favor. You're not using it. It's just there, getting dusty. And if you're gonna be an animal, I'm gonna treat you like a fucking animal. But like I was saying before, I concluded that and I said, wow, I have just gained this little, how do I explain it? I regained my power. I regained my power right there because I gave back. Look, I preach a lot. At the end of the day, that what matters at the end of the day, it's the person that you are, who you are as a person, your values, what you believe in, what you care about, all these little things. And sometimes I forget. Like yesterday, I forgot about it. I thought that value comes from luxury things and external things. But then today I reminded myself, I got back to my ground, my roots, and I said, no, what matters is who you are. And me showing myself that I can help my inner child feel better, and get rid of this feeling and this idea of you're a failure. Prove to me I am, how do I say this? That I'm working on this, and this is all that matters. So then I felt even better because I was like, hey, you're right. We're back to our roots. I just helped somebody. I used my brain to make somebody feel better. Therefore, now I'm feeling better because I am an amazing person. I remember that it doesn't matter if I don't have a luxury car or a luxury house or I'm making, 6 figures. It does not matter. I have values and I have a brain that I know how to use. That's all that matters. And it's all that matters to me at least. And then I also reminded myself, I might not know where I'm going. I might not be where I want to be. But all I know is that I'm working towards what I want. That's all I know. And that's all I should care about right now. I don't need to have all the answers. I don't need to have everything figured out yet. All I know is that I'm working towards my dreams, that I'm working towards my goals, and that I'm focused. I'm focused on what I want. And the life that I want, and the future that I want, and the person that I want to be too. I'm focused on that because here I am proving to you and showing myself that I'm working towards becoming that person that I want to be. I want to be that person that I can rely on myself because I can. Simply because I can. There's a lot of people out there that cannot rely on themselves because they just have no power over themselves. They don't know how to use their brain and they don't know how to comfort themselves. They don't know how to find the answers within themselves. But I do. All these are all proof that I am in the right direction. I don't need to, that idea in my head, that evilish little guide and the side of standing on the shoulder that's telling me you're a fucking failure, I can now put down that case and close this case and win. Because I do have the proof and the arguments to say that's not true. So you're going to jail. I plead not guilty. I'm sort of laughing. I'm making jokes now, and now I lose track of what I'm saying. But I'm very happy that I did what I had to do. Exactly what I want to say. This is why it's so important, the way that you talk to yourself. If I would have let that little voice in the back of my head take over me, and I started believing I am a failure, this feeling of feeling a failure I would have kept it for longer, for more days. It's something that I said previously. Your brain doesn't know what's true and what's not true. So, because your brain doesn't know what's true and what's not true. If you tell your brain that you're a failure, you're going to believe that. But if you tell your brain that you're an amazing person, that you have values, and then this and that, your brain is going to believe that. So now I feel better because not only I have the proof, but also I'm going to start telling myself, hey, wait a second, you're not a failure. You're exactly where you have to be. And actually, you're an amazing person too. You're a damn fucking amazing person. And you have an amazing personality too. Let me tell you that, as well as you're an amazing face scar, an amazing sense of style. Just added up to the proof, you know? So, where am I going with all this? I don't know. I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, because I'm telling myself all this. That's what I'm going to believe. And this is exactly the rhythm that I need to have. These ideas, this is what I have to tell myself. And this is what I wanted to tell you, that like it or not, you have to do the inner work because nobody's going to come to save you and help you. You have to face your own triggers. You have to face your own fears. You have to face yourself, because once you've done that, you're going to win the battle. And that's, I said to myself this morning, I was feeling very sad today because I let that voice win. That voice that tells me I'm a failure, I let it win. And it bothered me. But now I'm back. Now I'm winning. Because now I turned down that voice. And now the one that's telling me that you see, I'm trying to speak too fast. As all ladies are coming to my head now. Now, the voice that's telling me the voice that's telling me that you're an amazing fucking person, that's the voice that's winning right now. And it's making me feel amazing. I have my power back. And I feel like the TZ that I like to be. And I feel like the TZ that I also want to be. I hate acting like this version of myself that's constantly sad. And like I hate feeling like that little girl that feels like a failure. I hate feeling like that. I hate presenting myself and projecting myself and manifesting this version of myself. I hate that. I like the TZ that takes power over herself. I like this TZ that has control over herself. I like this TZ that feels like a motherfucking queen. Therefore, I'm back now. I feel like my true self, which is that one, is back. And that there's no better feeling than that. That regaining your power and feeling powerful again. And feeling like, hey, I'm back. So talk to yourself nicely. But not only that, but take care of your inner child. I think that's what I want to explain, what I was trying to say before. You need to take care of your inner child. And you need to work on your inner child. And you need to do the hard work, like it or not. It's not what's going to come to save you. Now I have a better approach. I'm in a better state of mind to go to work because I'm not feeling like this little fucking loser. Because that's how I felt. I felt like a loser. And I'm going to end the episode here because I need to go. Hope this helped you too.